Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Janice Coughlin from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy. I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer Tchaikovsky, and our other co-host, Gerald from
Hi,
TarotStache.
good to see everybody.
Yay!
Come on with a little bit of fun for tomorrow's Samhain, Halloween. So we are in our witchy hats and our fun glasses. We invite you to join us.
Everything's
Thank you.
funner with costume, you can be somebody else and you can be powerful and it's cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So welcome, everyone. We've got some awesome people here. We have Fogo Pogo wishing us hope that we had a great weekend. We have Rossi. Welcome. Welcome, Rossi. We have White Wolf Mother. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. We have Flower Beauty. Great name. We have Lady Silver. Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you. And we have Stephanie. Fogo Pogo says she loves our costumes. And we are creative. Yes, we are creative. We're all creative with or without the costumes.
We're having fun.
We like to do. Mousy Girl, thank you for joining us. Awesome.
Hello.
And we have Hershey.
Yes, Hershey, the Shadow Reader, who is going to be on my channel on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're doing Laugh and Learn Root Work, chapter 2. So it's a great conversation.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yes.
And
yes,
we have Rose Flowers saying hello and waving. Thank you. And we have others saying hello. And we've got Lori. Hello, Lori. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. We have Lottie.
Hello,
Lottie. Thank you for joining us. We have Color Insight or Foresight.
Colorful Foresight. Hey, good
Colorful
to see
Foresight. Hello, hello. We have Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. We have so many of you today. That's awesome.
It sounds like all of the best chatters are present.
I think so.
That's pretty awesome.
So, there you go. Best chatters for the win.
Woohoo!
Very awesome.
We're excited. So
I'm going to take these off so I can see you.
Okay. Yeah, we could maybe pare down the glasses.
I have to say, I have no chat today. I don't know why. Normally I can see it down the side there, but I don't. So I'm going to just trust you, Janice, to throw it on up there.
I'll put it up as it goes. Yeah.
But normally I can comment on it as it goes, but I can't today because I got nothing.
Do you have yours, Gerald?
I do.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. What have we got? Missed your live today. Oh, that would be for you, I think.
Oh no, that would be Hershey. Hershey did a live. She does on messages from Metatron on Monday mornings.
Ooh, lovely.
Are you familiar with Metatron?
Yes.
Duh, of course.
Yes, I have brought through messages from him as well at various times and work with him quite regularly too. Yes, Fogo Pogo said she needed this chat tonight. Last week's been rough. It has indeed. And we have hello, Gemstone Rhapsody. Hello, hello. Awesome. It's nice to meet you too. Colorful Force.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. What does Twillow Talk mean? All right. Well, Twillow Talk is where we get into authentic conversation about various spiritual talks. And, in an intimate way, we like to be intimate with you guys in terms of the conversation. And so that's what Twillow Talk means. It's that intimate, spiritual, authentic conversation that we have.
Yeah, it's about setting up a really, authentic space, but a safe space where we can share with each other, where you guys can share with us, and we can just be raw and real with one another about our journeys, our experiences, where we're at, what we're going through, and we can hold space for one another along the way.
Yep, exactly.
Well, and the great thing about it is you do this consistently. So every Monday at this time,
Yeah.
you're doing the Twillow Talk Live.
Yes. Every Monday at 5:00, those who want to join have a space to come together and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the spiritual journey together.
That's right.
Well, and that's the honest conversation. That's
It
what's
is.
important, because I think the authenticity of it is honoring that sometimes what we're going through is challenging, and by sharing that our authentic experience, it makes a difference, because I know when people have been authentic with me, I haven't felt so alone. I felt supported. I felt heard. I've been seen. So it's really wonderful. Really wonderful.
Absolutely. And that's what we want to create, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
Very much so.
And Twillow is part of our company or our community. Twillow Lifestyle Community is the name. And so that's so the Twillow comes from that.
Beautiful.
Which originally Twillow was T for Tanis, and the willow tree has healing properties, and it is flexible and strong at the same time. And it's also seen as the tree of knowledge. So we bring flexible, healing knowledge to individuals.
T for Tanis, willow.
Yeah. So that was the original part of that.
Nice.
So welcome, Aspasia Rising.
That would be Beth. Hi, Beth.
Hey, Beth. Thanks for coming. And Fogo Pogo says, with such a big community, it's likely that someone else had a similar or same experience. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. You made someone cry.
Aww.
We're sending you lots of love, Vanessa.
Yes.
Lots and lots of love.
Yes, they are handcrafted.
Yep.
Yep. I think all of ours are handcrafted, actually.
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely. Absolutely. So, usually what we do is kind of give a little update on where things are at.
Yeah.
And energetically. And Jen gives a bit of a human design. And then we pick a card, usually. So we often will pick, we're almost done our cards, actually. We're going to have to switch to another deck. But our usual at this point is The Soul's Journey by James Van Praagh. And it has a whole bunch of awesome subjects. So we just pick a subject and talk about it.
Yep.
So that's what we do. So this week has been pretty interesting. We, of course, had eclipse season last week. Pretty rough. But, right now, if we do manifesting, we have another couple of days. If you do manifesting in the next couple of days, you will manifest 100 times faster. So manifest, because that's what eclipse does. It's also very good at getting rid of things in terms of releasing and letting go. So if there's something you need to release, please do so.
Yes.
And it is a moon tomorrow, right?
I believe is it a
full moon, I think. I believe.
Well, the full moon for us was last night.
Oh, yes. So it's the full moon was last night, but we're still in full moon energy until tomorrow. Yes. So, yes. So that's all about letting go and releasing and all of that as well. So.
Yeah. And that's really important. I'm going to jump in because
Please.
Yeah.
when you pay attention to the moon, from my magical practice, we're lining up with the natural energies of the universe and our portion of the universe and the portion of the universe that lives within us. And yeah, I remember in my study when I first was studying to be a witch, one of my, we were asked a question. It was just like, ooh, which of the, which is more powerful, the full moon or the new moon? And the
Oh,
answer is they are equally powerful. They are really good for different things.
yes.
So,
That's been
um,
my experience as well.
yes, because it's just as, the full moon, as Tanis was saying, it's great to be able to release things, release the things because the moon will wane. So thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome to my TED Talk. My name is TarotStache. I appreciate you attending.
It's all good. It's good. We like that.
That's
That's what
great.
we're
I don't
here
know if you
for.
guys have done any work on, we talk about like our zodiac signs, we talk about all this stuff, but there's a lot too with the moon that you were born under. You
Yes.
can actually look that up and
Nice.
learn about the moon that you were born under and the energies with that and all of that too.
Absolutely. For sure. So Mousy Girl did manifest something. That's amazing. Great to
Nice.
hear.
Wonderful.
And we have here Hershey, I throw my trash and trauma away during this moon cycle. Absolutely. That's perfect. Hello, Joyful Journey. Here we are. Hello, Joyful Journey. Hey, Jen. And then we have from Peace Mama. Thank you. Thank you. We figured it was,
Yep.
in for Halloween. We're doing that.
Hmm.
Hmm. And Beth did a releasing ritual, 2 manifestation spells on the eclipse. Awesome. Yes, overachiever. Awesome. Um, Joyful Journey, we're actually not doing readings tonight. This is more of a conversation.
Hmm.
So just to let you know about that, I if something comes up and it's really we get drawn that way, but we kind of follow spirit's indication on that one in the show. Okay, it's not primarily for card readings. Oh my goodness, we have so many new people. It's awesome. I missed somebody here. Naomi, hello, Naomi. Oh, okay,
Yeah. What is
yeah,
that going to? Okay.
yeah. There we go. Um, oh, there we go. We have a question.
Oh, what is a good ritual to do for tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Good
and
question.
I think, well, let me ask you this, Jen. What are the transits? Because that might actually make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. So we're actually going to be switching through the transits between today and tomorrow. So this will be an interesting kind of time for watching kind of a shift in energy, right? So we're just wrapping up right now since the 25th until tomorrow. Well, actually, from tomorrow until the 1st. So until tomorrow, we're in the 28th gate. And so the 28th gate is the energy of it's called preponderance of the great, but it's the gate of risk taking, right? And it's this energy in the gene keys where we talk about moving from purposelessness to totality to immortality, right? And it's the energy of taking chances, right? It's very much that, to promote Nike here, that just do it energy. Right? And moving from this place of kind of lackluster, this, when we talk about purposelessness, that kind of getting stuck and staying in that struggle place and just kind of going, is it even worth it? Kind of energy to understanding that everything has its purpose and being able to really embrace that totality and go, you know, I don't have to know why. I have this urge, and I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to go for it and see what happens, and allow that fear to just kind of move by the wayside and go, I'm going to go for it. Let's see. Right? Let's
Yeah.
see where we go from here, and let's see what happens. And, you know, um, the gate that we're in for the earth right now is the 27th, which is about nourishment, right, and caring. And so we have that ability to have that ground us as we go through this and know that we're going to be okay. We can kind of take those chances, and we're going to be cared for, right? And so that energy is the energy that we're going to be coming to completion with tomorrow, right? And then from there, we're going to move into the 44th gate, or the 44th gene key. And we're going to be staying in that energy until around the 5th. And that energy is the gate of alertness. Okay.
Mm.
And so this is really about, in the I Ching, is this like coming to meet. It's about taking the energy of our past patterns and being able to really assess them and assess where we're at and what our current supply looks like, and really determining, okay, where do I go from here? Right? So, unlike before, where there's no planning in that, we're just going to go for it. Now we're going to take that step back and go, okay, right? I went for it. I was moving, or maybe I wasn't. Maybe I didn't, you know, fully embrace that energy. But now I'm going to kind of look at it and go, okay, now I can see some of the patterns that I've had. I can see what's worked and what hasn't. I can see what I have available for me. What do I want to do with it? Right? And so the shadow, the gift, and the siddhi for this is, you know, interference, teamwork, and synergy, right? So we're looking at this ability to, you know, can I allow myself to really assess what's going on and not allow the interference of all of the stuff, right? And when I say all of the stuff, it's a lot of that stuff, but it's also a lot of that stuff
Mm.
to get in the way.
Yeah.
Right? Because this awareness and what needs to happen, there is a lot to do with material needs, but this gift being teamwork, it's also about recognizing, who do I have that
Yeah.
that is with me in this, right? And who do I have that's going to be able to be a part of this process with me?
Yes.
Right? And who do I have to move with me through this energy? Right? Whereas, you know, before we were looking at it and we were like, okay, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna give her, I'm just gonna go for it. Right? It doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter what's going on. Now we're looking at it and we're going, all right, this is where I need to go. And you know what? I would like you to come with me. And I know that you can contribute this and I'm gonna contribute that. And, you know, we're gonna move towards this together. And this can be a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so there is a shift in the energy in that way. So really being mindful of that as we're moving through it is going to be an important part of this process.
Awesome.
That's really powerful. And there were people who were actually mentioning that it was making sense. They like that approach, Jen.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
And yeah, love that outlook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And this is Rachel, so we can say hello to Rachel. She had said something about Rahu moving away on the 31st to bring relief to many. Was also curious about that. Yeah, I think that's part of. I mean, that's the Vedic astrology. So probably asking Michelle about that would be wise. But from what I remember, it's switching into just a better constellation as of tomorrow. So it's better energy, more positive.
Mm-hmm.
well, and there was that idea of what's a good ritual to do this
Yes.
time of the year. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
This I had nothing to wear, so I just threw this on. So, a great, I think a great ritual to do is because this is the time of the final harvest. So really appreciating what we have and what's available. And when people are harvesting, it goes back to what you said, Jen, is it looks like it is so important to, you can't do this alone. Think about it. In an agricultural society, if I've got wheat that needs to come in or something like that, everybody shows up and helps and everybody benefits from that.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's one of those things. A great ritual to do is to honor everything that has brought us to where we are. And around the world, in many cultures, they're celebrating the dead, their ancestors. They're
Mhm.
honoring them. All Saints Day, All Souls Day, Day of the Dead. I mean, we wouldn't be here if it were not for those ancestors.
That's right. That's right.
And so that, I mean, and I like what Hershey said. I know I'm grateful to know my spirit team and the blessings of them. I wonder what it would be like, how if for the next 28 days, for the next lunar cycle, if every day, at least once, I would recommend 3 times, people were to actually go, I am grateful that you are here helping me.
Yeah. Can you imagine if everyone in the world did that? What a difference that would make.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean,
Beautiful.
and yeah, I love the idea of is so the idea of honoring what has brought us to where we are, honoring our ancestors,
Mhm.
um, having a good time, dressing up, having some fun. Let's lift. This has been hard work, people.
Yeah.
It's hard work for everybody who is elevating, and we all are elevating, whether or not
Yeah.
we realize it.
Exactly.
It's hard work, and sometimes a good laugh makes it a bit more okay. Kaylee, I'll be watching you. Um, yeah. Eat candy and dance. Yes.
I'm not opposed to that.
No. Well, and I mean, come on. How often are people dancing just out of joy?
Yeah. Yeah. Jen does it. I've seen her.
Jen does. Jen
I've seen
does.
it.
I don't.
I usually join her if I'm there.
That's cool. I need to do more of that myself.
Well, you need to come visit us.
I do a happy dance around food.
Yes.
Every meal has its own little happy dance.
It's really adorable. Hi, Fatima.
I love that.
But again, it's that way of just celebrating what we have and bringing gratitude to it.
Yes.
Yep.
Beautiful, Beth. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jen is a therapist. We didn't really say what we do. We just kind of got on here and kind of, started into things.
we just start in and go with it.
Some of you know us, some of you don't. We maybe should do that.
Yeah.
We've just had so much interaction. So Hershey says back in the older days, Samhain was looked at as an easier way for druids, Celtic druids, to protect the future. Do any of you use this energy like that?
Oh, that's interesting. To predict the
future.
Yeah, the future. In my coven we do that. We do a bit of a bit of scrying for the winter. So
yeah,
we do that.
Yeah, with my group I'll probably do that as well tomorrow. I have 2 classes in 2 separate years for the Celtic Shamanic High Priestess training, and we're having a ceremony tomorrow. So we will probably do some card reading and stuff tomorrow for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got, it's a wonderful idea.
Oh, you're welcome.
The attitude of gratitude.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Beth dances around with her dog. That's awesome.
Aw.
Hey, Jess. Thanks for joining us. Hello, hello. Spirit dancing. I can't keep up with you guys. You guys are like the best chatters. Mm-hmm.
True. You know,
Yeah,
dance it out.
absolutely. Yep.
Well,
All right.
and I also think that each time of the year, this time it shows up, I'm different than what I was last year. So my feelings with it and my impressions are different. How I interact with it. Sometimes I'm really into the harvesting. Sometimes I'm really into honoring the ancestors, and I say just go with it.
Mm-hmm. For me this year, it feels like ancestor year.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh yeah.
think it may be because of the whole state of affairs in the world right now that, we're just grateful for all of the people that have come before us and all of the ones that are going to be coming after us because there's no time and space. So, really,
Yep.
right? Our ancestors are before us and after us.
Yep.
So, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and the 44th gate, so what we're entering into in the next couple of days, is also really connected to the fractals and the fractal lines, which I think we've talked about a little bit, but not a whole lot. But crystalline grid, fractal lines, right?
Mhm.
And the fact that we're all on specific lines. And part of that is also our karmic ties.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very much about all of our connections, period. Right. And so this
Yeah.
energy is very much all about all of the connections that we have, not just here, but throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So understanding, you know, bringing in that energy is going to be a part of it. Right. And knowing what, what our even our DNA holds
Yeah.
because of all of this, right? And part of the interference that Richard Rudd talks about when he gets into the gene keys are the patterns that were transferred through our DNA that have to be resolved, or as he says, cleaned, because of all of the stuff that has come through many lifetimes,
Yeah,
because of all of
exactly.
the things that we've been connected with. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a huge time for connecting to not just here, but all the way through.
Absolutely. Big hello to Medium, Betsy Palmer. Hello, Betsy. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a good swim.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So awesome, awesome. Oh. All right. Well, this is an interesting one. I don't know if I'd call it sacrifices. I think I might call it what's the word I'm looking for now?
What sacrifices do you all give ancestors and why? I have lots of questions. This
Yeah.
may end up being the topic that we are
Yeah,
discussing.
I think perhaps that is the topic for tonight. We'll talk about that. Not so much the sacrifices. I think we'll say ancestors, maybe.
Yeah.
Ancestors and, you know, Halloween kind of stuff. Put the cards away. Offerings. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. I was like, why do I'm having a brain fart. What is that? Yes, offerings. I prefer to use that term. Yeah. Sacrifice just reminds me of olden times, and we don't do that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's interesting though, right? Because as part of this journey, especially in Sufi traditions, which is a lot of my background, we talk about dying before you die, right? And we talk a lot about the ego deaths. And they come, and there's a lot of them. And there is a lot of sacrifice and sacrificing that goes with that, right? We talk about so many times on even just Twillow Talk, we've talked about control.
True.
Right? And what it is to give up control. We've talked about awareness and what it is to be aware of our own triggers and letting go. of things that we want to be a certain way, of expectations, of the need to have, things turn out a certain way, or the need to have things resolved a certain way, or the need to have somebody understand us a certain way, right? And so when we talk about this journey and we talk about the things that we want to learn or the things that we want to understand, some of the biggest sacrifices that we make in this journey is giving up our sense of self and this sense of identity and this piece of us that goes, I have to have this in order for something to be a certain way so that I can feel okay. And that surrender is the biggest sacrifice that we make over and over and over again in order to allow ourselves to continue on and grow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Color for Foresight is right. I mean, food is, especially this time of the year, because it's a harvest festival. It's the final harvest.
exactly. Yeah.
Honoring and feeding and sharing that with those who came before us first is significant, and I do that, and I think it's a great way to um, in for me. Okay, I'm downloading, so excuse me. It's important while we offer that we have that connection to what you were saying, Jen, and to what Tanis is going to say, because I already know what she's going to say. But
I was going to say, I don't know what I'm going to say.
but but because when we give offerings, we do it with intention. We are clear. I am setting, and I know people who they have a dumb dinner where they lay out the best table possible. They have the best food. And there is a place setting that is empty for all of the ancestors. I'm getting emotional thinking about this, of all of the ancestors, and they serve the best of everything to the ancestors, and then everyone eats in silence thinking about those ancestors. And I think that intention is really important. So if you call the idea of sacrifice of me first and replace it with, I want you to have this, I think that's a really powerful thing.
Yeah. So it's like about giving, right? Giving back to the ancestors, giving to your friends and family when you have a dinner like that. It's a beautiful ritual because it is kind of a ritual, right? That you go through.
Yeah. Yep.
So, hello, Tarot, your way.
Hi, Thomas.
How's it going, Thomas? And
Oh, and by the way, the food that you give, or the offering that you, let me just say that the offerings that you make are important to you. They mean something to you. Because if I'm just going to give you, it's like, did you ever do food drives when where
yeah,
you donate food, canned goods, and everybody's bringing the stuff that nobody wants? Instead, give something that you would appreciate. That's a true offering.
yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah.
and that's the piece, right?
So this,
It's easy to give something that you don't want or you don't care about. It's very hard to give up something that you
Yeah.
want to hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about that?
One time I was about to give a cup of wine that somehow ended up on the floor. I was told only give healthy food offerings, preferably non-meat and things that doesn't represent addictions. I'm glad you paid attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, I think that's an important thing. And I also like the idea is give things to honor your ancestors of things that they liked.
Like this one. Customize it So like great Aunt Alice liked lace, so put out lace. Yeah, why not put those in? Bring them in. Bring them into your altar if you're not having the dinner, right? Bring those things in. That's all a way of honoring them.
Yeah. And by the way, this is not the only time that you can honor your ancestors.
Mm-mm.
I mean, and it shouldn't be.
We should do it regularly, right?
Yes, yes. I mean, and that's like that attitude of gratitude. Of so.
Mm-hmm. Peace, Mama. Hello, hello.
Yep.
Yep, it is. And we have hello to Terry at holding your space.
Hi, Terry.
Hello, hello. I usually cook a meal and prepare a plate first, along with a glass of wine and a glass of water. There, so they can drink whichever they prefer.
And see what's great. I think this is one of the things that I appreciate, and I
Aww.
believe that it's exactly what this is about. You're getting people to think and to share in a safe environment. We're not judging, and so the best
No.
chatters are sharing. I've already gotten like 3 ideas of stuff that I can do.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm like going, bringing it, people.
And pierogies sound yummy. I haven't had them in a while. I think we need to do that too. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hello, Linda. Thanks for joining
I think
us.
that's the other piece too, and part of, again, that idea of control and expectation and why it's so important is we think we know and we think we can figure it out. But if we can just step back and go, okay, what do you want? What would you like? How would you like me to honor you?
Mm-hmm.
And then we can allow for that to come in. And we do know, because that inspiration will tell us, just like the wine going on the floor. And I don't want that. Don't give me that.
Don't give me wine.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And if we're in a place of allowing ourselves to be in the not knowing and in the surrender, we're going to hear it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go, oh, okay.
So true.
And the veil is like super thin right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, the veil is really in front of us, right? And we allow it to be thin at this time of year. But it is much easier to hear, see, feel at this time of year. So tapping in can be easier.
I'm supposed to ask you, what does the veil being thin mean? I am having a major flashback. So.
Oh, yes, sweets for Buddha. I would say what it means is that you essentially we shed our disbelief in a way. So we allow the magic to come through more at this time of year. So we often, so the veils, the actual veils are no longer there. They've been gone for a few years. But what remains is our limiting beliefs around seeing other dimensions, our limiting beliefs around allowing the magic to play a role in our lives, our limiting beliefs around I can't see or hear other dimensional frequencies, right? Wow. So a lot of times the veils are more about our limiting beliefs than they are about actually like a veil. I mean, you kind of see a veil out here or something when you're talking about it's really here or in here.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. It's more acceptable. So because it's more acceptable, people allow that to be part of their lives at this time of year in a different way than they might at other times of the year.
Yeah.
So for me, that's my understanding.
Yeah. That's funny, because I was just like, all of a sudden it was like, ask Tanis what the veil is thin means. Okay.
Well, that's what they fed me the other day, was that. It was about our limiting beliefs and stuff. So that's probably why they said that, because it's prompting me to repeat.
And back to what Jen was talking about especially this transit, as you know, it's more about us as a group. Think about it. If you're somebody in your ancestor line, your biological or chosen one or magical one, has probably been what you've been through before. Mm-hmm. And they want to help you. I believe they want to help you. So if you asked, who can help me with this? I need help. You're probably going to have a lot of support. You just have to be open to hear it and to listen and to, I'm going to say, consider the advice, because sometimes I'm stubborn where I won't even hear it. I mean, I know you all are hearing everything and you're listening and you're doing exactly what they tell you, right? Yeah, just like Gerald, just stop.
We work at it.
Yes,
We are a work in progress.
we are.
So, hello, Miss Moonlight. We're glad to have inspired you.
Woohoo!
Yes, it's actually one of our teachers at the academy that made mine. Her name is Ruth. So if you want one like mine, reach out. We can set up a meeting with her because she's willing to do more.
Yeah, Peter J. Watts is like the fancy hat club. And I have a little dragon on the end of mine. I don't know if you can see it. But
Oh, very cute.
Nice.
little dragon,
Very
so the
cute.
little dragon can whisper in my ear.
Nice.
It wasn't my idea, it was the dragon's. I am not blaming anything on the dragon. So I know better.
Yeah, because they'll come. They'll come.
Yes.
Yes, they will come. Awesome. Hello to everybody who's joined us. I think we've missed Janet. Saying hi to Janet. Michelle Williams. Hello. Not sure if we said hello to Naomi Hewitt. I think she's been on for a bit, but thank you. You'll dream more about past loved ones at this time. Yes, for sure, because our dreams, we astral travel in our dreams, so that it makes it easier for us to visit. Because you allow yourself, because you're reminded it's in the air, so to speak.
Yeah.
Here's the fancy hat club thing.
There you go.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Linda likes your dragon.
Is, I mean, there's two sides to the whole veil piece as well, right? Like, there's also the fact that a lot of times when spirits cross, they've got other work to do, right? But during this time, because of things being the way that they are, they often do come closer, right? To bring messages and to do things like that because we're more inviting, right? And so there is this kind of, like when we talk about, perpetuating cycles and things like that, there is this kind of cyclical thing that's happening. So we are going to have that, and they are going to be closer as well, right? So it is this kind of piece, and that's why this energy is so much stronger in a totality kind of way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
The thinning veil. Absolutely. Thanks, Janet.
Yes. We have to celebrate that, great explanation. Woohoo!
You're not doing your or are you doing them off camera? What are you doing? How are you
I
getting
don't know what you're doing. What are you talking about? What
are you doing?
I don't know.
He's not doing the finger thing to make it happen. Oh, there we go. He does a finger thing and it makes things happen because he's magic. He's a magical being.
There you go. I'm magical.
See?
Jen is like, oh, Gerald, you're just like my 13-year-old. After they've been in a car and they haven't eaten and they need a nap. Because, and it's funny is I'm joking about that, but sometimes I hear from my ancestors, it's like, it doesn't have enough to do. My ancestors are like going, sit down, shut up, you need a nap, just eat something and stop, settle down.
Don't settle down, Gerald. It's okay.
Don't settle down. We love you the way you are.
Yeah, well, okay, yes, but I think that idea of the ancestors, sometimes they do that thing that I can't see that I need to do. I need a snack. Gee, I haven't eaten, or I'm starting to get hangry.
Hangry.
Oh,
And and so
Been
suddenly,
there.
like, never settle, Gerald. I won't.
but
I
do
won't.
have snacks and take care of yourself.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
and drink more water. I mean,
Mhm.
come on. Yes, this is actually,
Sip, sip,
caffeinated water right now.
sip, sip.
Yes,
I just had some.
I think and that's the
Mine
thing.
is dripping.
Have
Fortunately,
some water, wear some water. It's
wear
like,
some water.
Moisturize, moisturize, moisturize.
Swish,
I'm a
swish.
plant. I need watering.
Yep.
It's more fun at the kids' table. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Food makes everything better.
It can.
Mhm.
It certainly can.
Hmm. Especially if you're hangry.
Well, and
We've all
that's
been there.
yeah, we've all been there. And I don't know if recently I've actually said a couple of things and I'm like going, holy crap, I sound like my father.
Oh.
In that and then I sort of went, oh, I sound like my dad. That's cool. I'm like going, okay, that's fine, because it's that pause for me to remember to go, wait a minute. And suddenly I'm like going, oh, this is that life experience that Dad was referencing.
Yes.
Great.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Hmm.
Did you know that every 7 minutes there's a down in any conversation? A slight silence?
Abraham Lincoln.
Who said that? Abraham Lincoln? I'm like going, I mean, come on, everybody. This is why you show up. You get these, yeah. So it's natural. And every 7 minutes, 7 is a lucky number.
Yeah. I think it's 7. 6 or 7. I think it's 7. Yeah.
Hmm.
When the veil goes back up on the 3rd-ish, will you feel the shift? I'm looking forward to it. We're like, well, I feel a lot of shifts. So, it depends on what else is happening. If there's like a coronal mass ejection that's hitting the earth, I'll probably feel that more.
I mean, Tanis didn't introduce herself, but her T-shirt would actually say, I do stuff.
Yeah, I do stuff.
And it should actually say, and below that, it's going to be, I do all the stuff.
No, I don't do all the stuff.
Okay.
I just do a fair bit of stuff.
So,
But so does Jen, and so do you.
We do stuff. Yeah.
That's why we're all here. We're here to share our stuff with others.
Yes. So it was when the veil goes back on the 3rd-ish, will you feel the shift? And can we easier pierce the veil at this time too? Astro travel, channel, etc. Yes, I think so.
We're probably more aware.
That's true.
I would say, yeah. I mean, my experience is different because I do that stuff a lot. But I think that I would say for me, they've been more present, a little bit more. They're able to hold a little bit more of a physical frequency than they would normally. That's what I would say. What's wrong, Jen?
I don't think I'm understanding the question. It's can we easier pierce it?
I think it just means it's easier to do astral travel and channeling during this time.
So, on one hand, if the veil is here,
Sorry.
not in the hat, but in the mind,
Yes.
then of course we can, period.
Yes. Exactly.
Right? So the time is only because the collective consciousness allows for a more easier understanding or a more easier belief in the possibility.
Yes. Exactly.
But that doesn't actually change one way or the other of what is possible.
All is possible. Always.
Yes. Well, and it does go back to that. I like the idea of is if I see stuff, I hear stuff. Like
I sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Jen
but I
senses
think
stuff. That's her thing.
I also think that, but because if we get out of our way to where we can do it, and it may
And-
be
But
Exactly.
this is the piece, and this is what I mean, right? Is that it's not that it's possible or impossible. It's the energy right now is such that the collective consciousness believes that there's more possibility.
yes,
And that's
It's your
really
belief
all
that creates it.
there is. And so not only whether we choose to believe it or not, as a collective humanity, there is an energy to this time of year that
Yes.
believes that there is something to it,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
that's what causes the thinning in that way,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that collective consciousness changes as we move beyond this time,
Yes.
right?
it's the
Because there's
same.
a window that the collective consciousness believes that the thinning happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And if it's the same thing as having a gratitude, gratitude attitude. What's the word I want? Gratitude practice is the more people who would practice gratitude, the more gratitude would be around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the energy, right? And like
Yep.
attracts like. So I do think we should talk about this because I think it's something everybody would have felt.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really talk about it at the beginning like we usually do. But yeah, the Schumann has had some huge spikes and they were kind of rough. Basically, the Schumann is the vibration of the earth. And when we have spikes, we feel it because we're vibrating higher. And it's rough usually because we have some healing work of our own to do because it just shakes up our stuff that we've pushed down and it all comes up. And we're like, because we have to release. So
that's so true.
yeah. So who else felt that? Yes. We can all do that, right? We can all be our own biggest roadblock for sure.
I'm totally my biggest roadblock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I think Kaylee is a bit, she's got the mind blown thing. Possibility is always there, isn't it? Even after this time. It is indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They had weightlifters just think about lifting weights, visualize it, and they had a 15% muscle mass increase, while the other group who didn't visualize it had not increased.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's proven scientific about multiple things like that. So
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. There's the name of it. Thank you, Miss Moonlight. That's awesome.
positive visualization effects on strength training. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. It is amazing when we really get into the depths of the mind-body connection and what it can actually do and the impact that it can actually have. And then when we add spirit, which, you know, a lot of these things don't do in these kinds of articles and stuff. But right, when we add that to it and we recognize that we are way more than the mind and the body, and we are way more powerful than all of that. Whew, let me just tell you.
Linda says awesome.
Linda. Awesome. I can let my membership lapse. Not that I ever went. No.
If you're not going, why are you paying for it?
If you stop going, you'll be more abundant.
There you go. Oh, and I like what Thomas said. The harder I work, the luckier I seem to become.
Yes, because they go hand in hand.
Yes. Spoiler alert, people. The three of us are going to be talking about something in November that impacts this.
Yes. Stay tuned.
And away the spoilers.
Oh, here. Whoa, I'm not telling you. Just like in channels, it'll be there.
Definitely.
Oh, I love it. Mousy Girl says, I have a 2-year-old sharing my space, climbing. Oh, she left. Woo. Aw.
It's fun having them around.
Yes, it's probably creating core memories, Mousy Girl. Like I know what core memories are, you know.
I think we have a resident psychologist we could call on for that.
Psychotherapist.
Actually, here's a good thing. Is here. Here's an interesting thing, though. I love it. Here's an interesting thing, though. If we're talking about ancestors, core memories are an important thing. Yes, I know. But core memories are important for that, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
and it's interesting, right? Because a lot of, when we get into the psychological world, one of the things that is really lacking in the teachings is they don't go beyond this lifetime, generally speaking, right? A lot of the work that you do, if you're talking to a therapist or a counselor, has to do with just what did you experience in this lifetime, right? Very rarely do you find somebody who will go, okay, now, we'll talk generational for sure, right? And generational trauma and things like that. So we will talk ancestrally in that way. But, we carry it through lifetimes.
We do.
Right? And we won't talk about that generally.
I
is
do
this
a lot of
from a
healing.
previous lifetime? Oh,
yeah.
I think we need to clear that in order for you to move on.
Yeah.
Right? And so we can work on generational wounding, but we have to also work on, releasing karmic wounding and things from previous lifetimes and all of that. So, we talk about, trauma generationally and how that gets passed down from one generation to the next. And how do we, not only do we reconcile that, but how do we, allow ourselves to not continue to pass that on. But then, if I'm dealing with somebody who has generational trauma and core wounding and core beliefs that come from that generational trauma, but then they have past life trauma that is hindering them from being able to reconcile that, we have to look at that too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right? Because
the
maybe
past life stuff can be quite impactful.
Well, because maybe in a past life, they were actually the abuser.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of that trauma. Right? And there's a whole other dynamic now that has to be looked at in order to really come to terms with what's going on there. Right? And that's a really interesting dynamic that is going on within a person.
Well, I had something like that actually, because I knew that I was involved in the witch trials as a witch. I all of a sudden had a visual that I was actually I knew I had been a bishop, didn't know what any more about that. And then I ended up seeing a really strange visual for myself that was me sitting on one side as the witch and on the other side as the bishop who was presiding over the trials, like was with the judge kind of thing for the trials. And it was a very heavy memory to have. I think there were 2 different lifetimes, right? Because they were just like, they superimposed it when they showed it to me to show the dynamic there. It was super heavy. I had to do a whole lot of clearing on that because I felt so awful for having been in that position, of course, and then realizing, you know, I had done some healing on the witch part of it all, but I had to go back and do some more healing on that bishop piece, you know. It just shows you how you play both sides of a situation, though, in different lifetimes. It was like literally right in my face, that dynamic that you get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah. Cool.
Which one you got?
Oh, okay. The last part of it, not so cool. But yes.
My therapist knows I'm into tarot, and I sometimes use it to talk with her through these triggers or those triggers. How do I bring up that I've seen things without her committing me for a 3-day hold?
Yeah.
Talk about it as a dream. Dreams are less fear-provoking for the medical system, right?
Well, I guess the first thing is if your therapist is open, then it's a different kind of thing, right? It really depends on what the therapist is open to and what they're willing to accept. Sometimes I talk to her. Yeah, if you're able to talk about past lives openly, and all, then it's a non-issue. If you're not, dreams are definitely a good way to go. And if, as long as she's, you know, into Jung or Freud or anything like that, you're you're golden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and go ahead. I was also thinking that share what you got out of the experience and how it is helping you release it. So
Yeah.
it's not just I'm hearing weird things, but what are you doing with it?
Mm-hmm.
And again, entertainment purposes, I'm not licensed to do anything other than the state in which I live. So, but I think but yeah, if they're open to you using tarot.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too, like you talk about, I've seen these things, but it's more about the triggers, right? Or what they're bringing up for you. So let's say you've had a life experience where you've been, you know, there's abuse or something like that. You know, you don't have to talk about what you've seen or necessarily the experience. I think a lot of times in therapy, we think we have to deep dive into the trauma itself, right? And that's not necessarily the case. What we really need to look at is, what is the belief that I have about this that is lingering for me? What keeps coming up and what am I holding on to? Right? So, what are my triggers? What are my core beliefs about it? What do I believe about myself that continues to perpetuate this experience for me as I move forward? That's what you have to look at and what you have to resolve. So if you can bring those parts forward, that's the stuff that you really need to work on.
Yeah. So then you could just bring those topics forward, right? As opposed to actually talking about it.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's great. Great way to see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would like to think this too. You know.
Yeah, spiritual development.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It would be wonderful if people were all open to all of the things. You know, there was a couple studies done about therapists and therapists' willingness to bring spiritual things into therapy. And it was amazing how many therapists were actually scared to cross that topic line
Mm-hmm.
and actually bring that in.
Mm-hmm.
But if you bring it in, as long as the therapist is open and doesn't bring in their own agenda, you're okay. Right? It's if they have, you know, the inability to allow you to have your space and they can't hold that for you, that's when it becomes problematic. But if they can just hold that space for you and allow you to have that process, and they can say, okay, now where do we go from here? Where do you want to go? How can I help you get there? Then you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, Thomas.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah. That's
For sure.
ideal for this safe conversation.
Yeah.
And can you believe it? It's actually been an hour and 5 minutes.
Holy moly.
Wow.
So
No card this time.
no card this time. We went from ancestors to healing work, past lives. We have run the gamut today, guys.
Yes.
It is a beautiful journey. And we're
Mhm.
so thrilled to be able to share it with all of you.
Yes.
So we thank you all for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
And anything going on for you, Jen, this week?
I think just the same as you with tomorrow. And other than that, this week is, yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow, the two of you? Are you doing stuff offline? Are you doing real life stuff other than,
No.
No, we're both part
ritual.
of a. Well, yes, but we're also both that too. But we both are involved in a speaker series, and it is with a group of therapists in conversation, and
Oh,
from
yeah.
the UK. So we're actually filming one tomorrow. So it's not live. We're filming it.
Oh, that's
So
great.
yeah, so it'll be out in the next couple of weeks there.
And I will share it on my channel community tab, because the last one I saw with you, it was like, ooh, this is great.
Yeah, it's fun to do, and it's nice because it's a variety of different people, really from all over the world. Because there's those of us in North America, there's those in Scotland and Wales, and I think we even had one from Australia one time. So it's been quite a great group. So
Very
Nice.
awesome! Thank you, Gemstone Rhapsody. We're happy to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to be here. We're happy to have you. Yeah.
cool.
So we have that this week. What do you have, Gerald?
Tomorrow it's Tuesdays with TarotStache, exclusively on Jane the Secret Tarot. We're doing readings in the morning tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, before my Samhain ritual, Jamie, back and forth with Jamie and Gerald, we are doing a VR to the hashtag 54321 tarot.
Ooh.
Like and subscribe, it's there. And then on Thursday at 1 p.m. Central, 2 Eastern, we're having Laugh and Learn Magic Tool Talk continue, or part 2 or chapter 2, with Hershey, the Shadow Reader,
Awesome.
and Angela, Cartomancy Mesquite, and Deb, Purple Elephant Deb H. So
Awesome.
it's going to be a really good conversation.
Great week. Yeah. And we're doing readings on Wednesday. Michelle and I will be on Wednesday with Ramsey, which is awesome. We're looking forward to that, doing readings. So check that out. And Ramsey and I have open mic this week as well. So that'll be on Friday at 7:00. Those are both live. So yeah, join us for those. And yeah, so and then come back next week and join us here.
Do you have a guest next week?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We will often go 1 week, just Jen and I, and then another week with a guest.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what we do. It's our shtick.
I support your shtick, and I'm honored that you have allowed me to be part of this. It's such a meaningful conversation, and I'm glad to see this happening, because if people they take away and they think about things in a new way, that's a total success.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it gives a sense of we're not alone. Each and every one of you on here is, feeling similar energies, feeling similar feelings around all of what's happening for all of us. So, we can take comfort in that we're not alone.
Yeah. Well, and that's the beauty of it too, right? And I know, Tanis and I, even, well, before all of this, right? I think a big part of it was, we would be going through something or experiencing something, and it's kind of, par for the course, you doing okay? I'm feeling this. You feeling this? And we still do it, right?
You
and
still do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Still feeling it. It's it's collective. Yeah. This is, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? And it's very validating to know that, you're not alone in it. And yeah, we
Yes.
are all feeling it. And yeah, this is just the energy right now. And so, the
Mhm.
more we have kind of this collective time together and these check-ins regularly with each other, and we know, what, yeah, we're not in this alone. And at any point, each week we have this ability to come together and go, yeah, you're feeling it too? Yeah, so am I.
Phew.
Whew, okay.
Yes.
All right. We're
Yes.
good. We keep on going. All right.
Exactly.
Yeah. It validates where we are.
It
And it
does.
honors us. I think it's so powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Exactly.
And I just imagine what it would be like for people to have more of these conversations and just to see where people were and let them have where they are and hold space. Let's change the
Exactly.
world one conversation at a time.
Well, and the big theme for me this week that kept coming through when I was talking to clients and stuff, of course, light workers are usually my clients, and it's just hold your light, right?
Mhm.
Don't worry about what everything else is happening. Just hold your light,
Yep.
because that's what we're here for. Light workers, we're all here for holding the light. We can't do that if we get caught in the fear and the sadness and the density of all of that stuff. So just hold your light. It's not that we're ignoring what's happening. It's not about that. It's that we're here on a mission. And in order to do that mission, we need to be able to hold our own light. Let that light channel shine, right, through your heart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So be
true.
loving, kind, and compassionate this week. And we shall see you all very soon. Final words, anyone?
Be nice to yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Lots of love, you guys.
So much.
Bye.